Hey, everybody. We're finally back.
Woohoo! Where'd those Uchoose guys go?
We got stuck in the cave of time.
They're here, they're gone, they're back again. We're getting close to the holidays too.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
last time I got my COVID and my flu shot at once. Bam, bam, both barrels, Lee.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, 2 days after that, I was like, I don't feel so good.
Well, here,
I'm
punch you.
dying.
This is what happened. This is what COVID did to Eddie. Just kept
Exactly.
punching him. And then when you were down on the ground screaming and writhing, it punched you again.
Just when I thought I was okay, I was like, I think that might be the last one. Then another one. Scott Miller.
Scott Miller in the chat.
Good evening, sir.
Right. So this is the Uchoose podcast. If you're not familiar with the podcast, if you're new, thank you. If what we do is we go through these old 80s choose your own adventure books primarily, and then we hit some adjacent ones as well. But when we get to a decision point in the book, then if you're watching live, you can make your voice heard and let us know which page you want to go to. So
why be a passive podcast listener and just scream at your phone or your car stereo or whatever it is?
Yes.
Your can with a string. Why scream into that? Like, don't do that. You could join us live, provided we're going online, and join the fun and affect the story. You know, who knows? There's only so much control you have over your own life. Let's be honest, Lee.
Yes. Yeah.
As we get older, forces and things outside of ourselves steer us into ways that we don't want to go. This is the one podcast you can shake your fist at fate and go, no, today we make a stand. I will not go to the UFOs. I will go see the Bigfoot instead.
Yes. Today is your Independence Day.
Today, exactly. That's my Bill Pullman rouse to get people to listen. Scott Miller, you thought you missed it. You didn't. Thank goodness.
No. You're just
here.
in time.
You know, sit back. Just fun fact, I don't have photos to prove this, but just take my word for it. We've been set in the house we're in right now. We have a wood burning fireplace.
Ooh, nice.
I haven't had a wood burning fireplace since I was a kid in the 80s, Lee.
Oh, that's awesome.
So your boy Eddie's excited to get fires going, especially during the holidays. Yeah. And so I got a fire going tonight that you could legit, when they forge the shards of Narsil into one blade, Lee.
It was
the blade that was broken.
It was colder than your firewood, your stove, right?
Exactly. That was a freezer compared to the inferno that I had coming out of this thing. I made a fire.
So you're saying Bilbo or Frodo could throw the ring in there, and it would
have melted the ring. It would have melted it. Problem solved, everybody. It was so bad. I shut the door because normally I shut the little chain grate just so we can kind of hear the. Yeah. It was so bad. I shut the glass doors on it. I was like, click, and then you can just hear the roaring flames. I'm like, if anybody need any blacksmithing done, come by my house.
Yeah, you can make knives, swords, whatever you want, horseshoes.
Go all day, all the luck I could make happen. So anyway, that being said, Jimmy Kimmel, that's not very nice. Crybaby. I'm guessing this person's not a Jimmy Kimmel fan.
I'm
just gonna say.
No. How'd you guess?
I don't know. Anyway, welcome everyone to the show. We're gonna dive right in. This format, this episode, we are not gonna be doing 2 books. We're gonna be basically squeezing as much juice as we can from the Cave of Time.
Exactly. We're gonna go through it a second time. So if you missed the last time we went through, just go to uchoosepodcast.com. That's the letter U, choosepodcast.com, and you can check out the previous episode. But we're going to go through it a second time. We're going to try to get as many endings as possible. Last time, Eddie, we got 4 endings.
Yep.
Out of this one. Out of 39, only 4.
I know.
Out of 39. It's insane.
There's so many endings.
Like last time, we have both covers. So we have the old cover on the right by Paul Granger, and then the 90s cover on the left, and both glorious in their own way. But Eddie and I grew up with the old one, and yeah, I think you are, Scott. The old one with the Loch Ness on the front and the boy riding the horse with the castle in the background. We've got a T-Rex, and then of course in the large background, I guess for lack of a better word, is a bearded guy with a sword. So yes, they are hard to collect.
Could you ask for anything more?
No, you couldn't.
Really, you just be being greedy at this point.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. 184 books in the original. Yeah. I think it might have been 180. I'm not sure. There are a lot. So let's get started.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that if you are trying to collect them, you go to like a half price book or something, they'll have like 30 copies of the same book. And you're like, ah.
Yeah. And I found that as the series, just like anything, as the series, yeah, the old ones are cool. As the series progressed and got less popular by the 90s, those are hard to find. So some of those books that are in the 150, 160, 170 range, those are very difficult to find. But these first 25, these first 50 or so are not too hard to find. You can get them on eBay for $5, $10 typically.
It was like, what does your Choose Your Own Adventure collection look like, and why is it all the Cave of Time?
Yeah, exactly. It's similar, as Eddie knows, with the He-Mans, the later, phase 5, phase 6, the ones that came out in the late 80s, very difficult to find, but you can find the early stuff all over the place.
You could kill yourself with a He-Man,
Yeah.
But if you're looking for like an Extendar,
good luck.
Or like those guys that were topped.
Yes.
Spun them around. Good luck finding those guys. Even Rio Blast. So, the thing about Rio Blast that I love is like if you find him in the wild and he's not complete, he's basically worthless. Like nobody cares. It's kind of like a sad cowboy tale.
Yes, it is. All right.
And I could talk about He-Man too much.
Oh yeah. I get it. Okay. So let's get started. I'll get started, and then we'll go with the first choice here. So, all right, you've hiked through Snake Canyon once before while visiting your Uncle Howard at Red Creek Ranch, but you never noticed any cave entrance. It looks like a recent rock slide has uncovered it. Though the late afternoon sun is striking the open cave, the interior remains in total darkness. You step inside a few feet, trying to get an idea of how big it is. As your eyes become used to the dark, you see what looks like a tunnel ahead, dimly lit by some kind of phosphorescent material on the walls. The tunnel walls are smooth, as if they were shaped by running water. After 20 feet or so, the tunnel curves. You wonder where it leads. You venture in a bit further, but you feel nervous being alone in such a strange place. You turn and hurry out. A thunderstorm may be coming. Judging by how dark it is outside, you suddenly realize that the sun has long since set, and the landscape is lit only by a pale light of the full moon. You must have fallen asleep and woken up hours later. But then you remember something even more strange. Just last evening, the moon was only a slight crescent in the sky. You wonder how long you've been in the cave. You're not hungry. You don't feel you have been sleeping. You wonder whether to try to walk back home by moonlight or whether to wait for dawn, rather than risk losing your footing on the steep and rocky trail. So here's our first choice already. If you decide to start back home, go to page 4. If you decide to wait, go to page 5. Well, last time, let me pull that up here. We went to page 5 last time. So, yeah, Scott Miller found a copy of Mystery at Chimney Rock. Yeah, not too hard. Like I said, those first 25, those first 50, you can find them all over the place. All right. So last time we went to page 5. So this time we need to go to page 4. So sorry,
you might have to. You might have to go to page. Like Scott, try page 4 since we're trying to.
Yeah.
Would you mind reading this? I had to reboot my phone.
Okay, no problem.
Was not opening links for some reason.
No problem. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with page 4. Good job, Scott. We're going to page 4. As you start walking back toward the ranch, You notice the trail seems very different than you remember it, though, of course, moonlight can play tricks on your eyes. But you suddenly realize that you're not walking on the trail at all, but on what seems to be a dried up riverbed. You hurry back to the cave entrance. You look around and realize the whole landscape has changed. While you're in the cave, torrents of water have washed out the trail, yet there's not so much as a puddle left. You shiver. It's cold, much colder than it should be at this time of year. You take a jacket out of your backpack and pull it on or put it on, but you're still freezing. At least the world about you seems brighter. It's getting light in the east. The sun will be up, and you look at your watch. It has run down, though you wound it only a few hours ago. A winding watch, Eddie. When's the last
I
time
had
you
to.
had a watch that you had to wind?
Yes.
That's
Showing
awesome.
tipping our hand a little bit. I see. Choose your own. The Cave of Time.
Yes.
Like
Winding
we
our
might
watch.
we might have time travel, but our watches still need to be wound.
Yes. That's awesome. Let's see. Nothing seems to make sense anymore. You know you should get back to the ranch as quickly as possible, yet somehow you feel the only way to change things back to the way they were is to re enter the cave. All right, everybody, here's another choice. If you continue towards the ranch, turn to page 8. If you'd like to go back to the cave, go to page 10. Now, last time we didn't have either of these options, so let us know if you want to go to the ranch or if we go back to the cave. Let us know in the chat. Yeah, we hit a lot of them, but we didn't hit either one of these. So this whole choice is totally different than it was last time. That's what the nice thing about these early ones that have so many options. You can go. You don't repeat very often.
No, that is the fun part. When and also, to be fair, the maddening part is when you find yourself like repeating a thing. You're like, all right, I tried to go a different way, and it takes you right back to that other arc. You're like,
Yes, yes,
I didn't
it
want
does.
this. I might.
You gotta
Speaking of going, oh, sorry, go ahead.
You got to have a few of those though. And Edward Packard did that in some of the later ones. I forgot to mention this one's an Edward Packard book. So the original creator of the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
What more do you want? I'll tell you what I
says-
want. Would you please resend the Cave of Time to me? That link you sent me is being difficult.
Being a pain in the butt, huh? Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find that here real quick. Let's pause it for a second. And Scott says page 8. So we're going to go to page 8 here in just a gosh darn minute.
Either page 8 had to do with a ranch, or Jimmy Kimmel is telling us their favorite salad dressing. Mine too. Mine too. Hard. I got to the point, guys, where I'm making my own ranch. That's where I'm at in my culinary journey.
Are you the stage in your life where you make your own ranch now?
I am. I'm like, how hard is ranch? And I looked it up. I'm like, it's not hard to make. And I'm like, why buy ranch when you can make your own?
Do you do just buy the packets, or do you like
no?
You're like serious, huh?
No, you got garlic powder, onion powder,
Really?
salt, pepper, lemon juice, and then either, depending on how you're feeling, but I've seen that sour cream, 1 part sour cream, 1 part mayonnaise. And then garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and dill. Dill is it's the big dill there. Ha ha! Puns! Scott Miller, you can make your own honey mustard. Challenge accepted, Scott. I am. Although, this is where you're like, I'm going to buy my own mustard seeds and grind them.
Yeah, you're going to grow your own mustard plants in the backyard. So there, you guys got a free recipe from the Uchoose podcast.
you want right. Make your own ranch with the Uchoose podcast.
Uchoose ranch. All right.
For real though.
So let's go to page 8. I'll go ahead and take care of that one, Eddie, while you kind of get situated.
Yeah, just playing around with this here.
All right. As it gets lighter, you realize you can't be on the right track. The canyon seems shallower than it was. The riverbed is strewn with boulders that were never there before. The cold wind chills you to the bone, yet it's the middle of summer. As you climb to higher ground, you get a better view. You notice patches of snow. From the top of a ridge, you survey the barren plain, frozen lakes, and in the distance, a massive range of snow-covered mountains. You begin to realize you're not merely lost, you are lost in time. You have somehow been transported to the Ice Age that occurred many thousands of years ago. Look, we're so smart, we automatically know what time we're at. That's how amazing we are.
We already know.
We know. It's like, this is the Ice Age. And I know this. Don't worry about it, guys.
Judging by all the ice I see, judging by how this is still cold compared to Eddie's fire. That's a different file.
You pick up a piece of ice and you lick it. And you're like, oh yeah, 10,000 BC. That's what
I'm in the Ice Age. Look at all this damn ice.
You walk toward one of the cliffs that borders the canyon, seeking shelter from the wind, and notice an entrance to another cave. You're tempted to go inside, but you feel you should keep moving in hopes of somehow reaching familiar country. All right, here we go. If you enter the cave, turn to page 17. If you continue on, turn to page 18. So real simple. Do we enter the cave or do we just keep on walking? Let us know in the chat. And I'm checking our pages here, 17 or 18, and we haven't done either one of these. So we are good. This is a whole new story, everybody. And look at the illustration, covers both pages. So pictures of ice in the background. And of course, we're very prepared. We've got our backpack. We've got a canteen. I guarantee you can't see the shirt, but I guarantee you that shirt is tucked in. No doubt about it. All right.
Gotta love technical difficulties.
Yes. Were we able to get it pulled up, Eddie?
I can click it. It won't populate. I'm going to see if I can't just go online here and bring it up.
That's weird. I wonder what's going on.
It is weird indeed.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm going to try a couple tricks here.
Well, we've got a split decision in the chat here. So that means the Uchoose coin, everybody.
Ha! The Uchoose coin.
So let's see. We'll do heads will be cave. Tails will be walking on by. So heads cave, tails walk. Heads. Cave it is. So we're going to the cave, everybody. Page 17. It's the cave here. All right. As you enter the cave, you see a flickering light ahead and you smell smoke. You make your way along a winding passageway and enter a large chamber. Fires rise out of earthen vessels. Several short, stocky people with straight black hair and primitive faces are painting pictures on the walls of the cave. They're dressed in animal skins. In a corner of the cave are beds of straw. You stand slightly afraid as the cave people drop their work and run over and stare at you in disbelief. The largest man is carrying a long vine. He steps forward as though he might seize you and tie you up. All right, another decision, everybody. If you stay and try to make friends, turn to page 26. If you try to run for it, turn to page 28. So let us know in the chat if we try to make friends or if we try to run for it. Let us know in the chat what you want us to do. We'll try to make friends maybe, but we'll probably just stab them in the back anyway.
You're getting stabbed in the back. It's the Choose Your Own Adventure book. The backstab's coming.
In fairness, we haven't been concussed yet. So I'm kind of shocked. We're what, 4 decisions in and no concussions? But
the operative word is yet. I'm good to go, man. I moved it to the old iPad. And we're good to go.
Sweet. Awesome.
We're fancy. So it's a fancy operation around here.
Yeah, that's right. We spare no expense on the Uchoose podcast.
Cheap is free.
That's right. Free. Low to no budget on the Uchoose podcast. See those pennies in the couch there, Eddie? That's our budget.
That's our budget. They're like, what's your budget look like? And we just we empty our pockets and sort of a rags to rags story, really.
Yeah. Rags to no rags.
Yeah, to less rags.
Let's see. Jimmy says make friends, and Scott says make friends. It's unanimous. So page 26, Eddie.
26. Yeah, this is a better viewer than the one I have. I can type in a page number.
Ooh, even better.
I know. This is the fancy rig. You make friendly gestures. We know what friendly gestures are. You're doing this.
Yeah.
You're going
Thumbs
like
up.
this is the
Okay.
old timey one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're not doing any other unfriendly gestures. You know,
Yeah.
or the other
The year
one.
number one
Yeah,
salute.
you're number one. You're not doing any of those. But then again, not that it matters because they're cavemen. Anyway.
Yes. Oh, hey, Scott.
man-
Scott knows Choose Your Own Adventure. We're gonna get attacked by a cave bear. Yeah.
Listen, I can't take any cave bear stuff right now. Don't be doing that, Scott. I thought we were friends.
Yeah. Come on.
You make friendly gestures. The man holding the vine steps back and smiles. The people talk to you in a friendly fashion, but you cannot understand what they are saying, nor can they understand you. You feel awkward, which we're used to. We're a nerdy kid in the 80s,
Exactly.
but happy to be safe and warm for the moment. Several people have gone back to working on their paintings. You can picture that. They're all like, unga, manga, back at it.
Right back at it.
The cave people laugh, but one of them brings you a slice of half-cooked meat. Medium rare in this house.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't taste very good, but you are so hungry you don't mind. Again, tell me this is a book from the 80s. That's because this kid ate what was given to him and didn't complain.
And you liked it.
And you liked it. And you were grateful.
Document.
Gradually, you make friends and learn a few words. Unga and manga. Unga manga. With some of the people go hunting and come back with game. Others they're not talking about hunting. They're talking about they come back, they're able to talk to girls now. They come back to game. Hey, I'm not shy anymore.
Hey, back to the talking thing. You're probably like, hey guys, I got this. I've watched every episode of Captain Caveman. I know cave talk.
We're good. We're good. When the bad guy comes, I point my club, a bird comes out, we're good to go.
Yes.
Others make clothing from animal skins. You help with cleaning and cooking each day, and each day you paint a picture on the walls. The others are fascinated by your drawings of airplanes, ships, and cars, things that they only see as abstract designs, for they have no way of understanding what function they could serve. Unga munga. One day, a group of other people visit. You have never seen them before. What if I was like, I'm going to read this like a caveman? Unga munga, unga unga, munga, unga.
Unga, munga, munga.
One day, a group of other people visit. You have never seen them before, but your friends welcome them warmly, holding a great feast in their honor. Cooked meat for everyone.
Yeah.
After everyone is through eating, the conversation intensifies. You can tell cave people are talking about a serious problem. There's urgency in their ungamungas. Then one by then one by one they drift off to sleep. You walk outside to see if you can learn anything. I mean, anything about this, I imagine. I mean, it wouldn't be just anything. Nope. My learning days are done. I can't learn. See, there we go. Scott Miller's on it. Scott Miller's. There we go.
Unga,
unga, bunga, They say, there you go. Make Scott Miller's the mayor of that town now.
Yeah, he is.
The ground is covered with deep snow. A bitter cold wind blows the snow into whirling clouds. Next morning, the people pack up their belongings and they urge you to do so also. Some migration is obviously intended, no doubt to a warmer climate. You feel you should go with the cave people, but you have a great longing to return to your own home because you're a kid from the 80s.
You're 9.
I'm 9 years old. Dude, guys, where's the Capri Suns around here?
Yeah, where do you get those?
I think I have diarrhea from eating half-cooked meat. I need
Capri Sun, a bologna sandwich,
Fruit Loops.
Some Fruit Loops, yes.
Gatorade, for Pete's sakes.
Yeah, come on.
You feel you should go with the cave people, but you have a great longing to return to your own home. And your only hope of doing so is to find your way back to the cave of time.
Ooh, title drop.
If you go with the cave people, Ungamunga, turn to page Ungamunga. If you try to find your way back to the cave of time, turn to cage Munga Unga. 47.
47. So we go with the cave people, or do we go back to the cave of time? You know, they're probably the cave people. I bet you if they drew a picture of us, they would just draw a picture of us with like knives in our back, or knives at our side, ready to stab
Oh yeah.
somebody, or we're attacking a chimp. One of the two.
Oh yeah. They're like even though this is a time travel thing, words of our deeds have traveled through the fractal
Space
universe,
time.
and they're like,
Yeah.
Unga Munga, the guy that stabbed the chimp in the he fought a chimp with a
Fancy.
pocket knife.
Yeah, don't mess with him.
We call
Todd,
him Munga Munga.
what was the kid from the Dinosaur Island? Todd, I think.
It was Todd.
Yeah,
Oh
Todd.
yeah, I'll
Todd
never
traveled
forget.
back in time.
Todd's like,
This is
don't mess with this guy. He will leave you for dead.
this is our portrait of Todd. Just has a bunch of knives in his back.
I know.
He said
It's
you
like,
did this.
they flew away. I was actually in the helicopter, and they pushed me out, and we're like, "There's no time. We have to
There's no
save
time.
ourselves." I'm in the
Oh,
helicopter.
So if you're wondering where the joke's from, past episode, look it up. Dinosaur Island. We betray Todd multiple times.
We can't find enough ways to betray Todd. We do the thing where we're like, "Oh no, man, I'm sorry. I was just kidding. For real, take my hand." And then he goes, and you're like, "Hey,
Hey, just kidding."
I'm serious. I'm gonna watch you die. Yay! Don't be a Todd. So we got first option, and then Scott Miller saying Land of the Lost. So I'm assuming that means go with them cave people. Or does he mean
46.
back to the cave of time? Now I'm confused.
I am confused.
Scott, we appreciate your joke. What is your choice? What is your choice?
Yeah.
Speaking of like time travel 80s shows, today I came across a quick YouTube video, and I remembered this show, but I couldn't remember the name of it. And it's about time travel, and it was called Travelers. Go figure. I was like, what was the name of that show? Travelers. Do you remember that show, Lee?
I don't remember. If I looked it up, I might.
You might remember this. So it's of course a classic 80s trope. There's an older guy. He's probably in his like late 20s, early 30s. He's got a kid sidekick with him. And he has a pocket watch. It looks like a pocket watch, but it's a time traveling device. Oh, and he basically opens the pocket watch and basically like uses the dial to figure out where they want to travel in time. And it instantly like warps them to that time period. And then they got to fix things that went wrong in the timeline.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a great show.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm going to check that out. Was that a Saturday morning thing? Or
was it was like actually like in the evening. It was like an evening show. It wasn't a cartoon. It was like a live action show.
Oh, okay. All right.
And only one season. I guarantee you did. You're going to see it. You're going to be like, Anyway.
It goes in with Manimal, one season and done.
For real, though. It was Manimal. And there was a whole bunch of other ones, but Travelers, and Scott Miller remembers that one. When I saw it, I was like, I got to get this show on Amazon probably at some point. Anyway.
Yes.
So let's see here. 46. Going with the cave people, Lee.
All right, we're going with the cave people.
Dear God.
Dressed as warmly as possible in your crude boots and coat of animal skins, you leave shortly after sunup with the others, a ragged band of 30 men, women, and children. Luckily, there are no babies. They could never survive the migration. The sun shows briefly through the clouds. The wind abates, and you make good progress on your southward journey. After only a few days of travel, everyone is nearing exhaustion. The hunters have not been able to find enough game. There is no way to light a fire at night, and the only way to keep from freezing is to sleep huddled together. After a week, though, you notice the sun shines more warmly at midday, and the snow is not quite so deep. It begins to look as though you will survive, though you must give up hope of ever returning to your own time. The end. Wow. So we live happily ever after with the cave
in people. Caveman days.
Unga munga.
There you go. He's like, I'm like, well, you didn't have any TV shows you wanted to watch.
Yeah. We need the Travelers watch.
All exactly.
Right. So let's go back. let's see. That was
At least we didn't die, though. I mean, we're gonna die eventually,
die.
but we didn't meet in a timely end here.
Here we go. So we were back. Okay, page 27.
Do we want to divert just one? Do we want to divert just one ending and go to page 47 and see how that plays out for us?
Yeah. Let's do 47. So let me make sure I got.
So I can pick that up.
Yeah, go ahead. 47.
So pretend we didn't go with the caveman. Pretend we said no.
Yes.
I haven't even seen Travelers yet. I don't know what this is. I'm actually traveling through time, but I want to see a TV show about it.
Exactly.
You pack up your few belongings. You have the one weird guy in the village like who made you a sculpture made out of his own poop. He's like, oh, you're like, I don't want this. I gotta take it. I gotta take it with me. The one you prize most is a knife carved from the tusk of a woolly mammoth, which you can't wait to use on your friend Todd.
Where's Todd?
Where's Todd? I got my Todd device. You wave goodbye to your friends and trudge through the snow, trying to retrace your steps back to the cave of time. Though the winter is colder than ever, not that you would know, bro.
Yeah, no
The
kidding.
bright sun stirs your hopes. You have become much more rugged from living with the cave people, and your crude animal skin clothes keep you surprisingly warm. You find your way down into the canyon, and in a few hours, reach the entrance to the cave. Now almost covered with blowing snow. This is what I think Scott was hinting at here. Please, Captain Caveman, show up.
Yes, please.
I won't do it now because it's getting a little late. I got people upstairs chilling. One day on this show, maybe I'll just like record it and we can play it. I'm going to do the Captain Caveman call. I can do it.
I should have that as a sound effect.
Yeah, if you hey, we'll dig it out as we're doing this, but I can do it. Like as a kid, as a teenager, I could do the full Captain Caveman. It was fun,
man. Oh,
anyway,
man, that's awesome.
You hardly notice. Oh God, here we go. The large gray shape, only a few yards from the entrance of the cave, until you hear the deep guttural growl of a wolf. Now you stare directly into its cold, cruel eyes. You feel that at your slightest movement, it will spring at you. You must think, spring. I could use some spring. It's dead winter here, man. We need
winter all the time.
You must think what to do before you move. You probably could outrun the wolf to the cave. It might hesitate before following you and give you enough time to escape. Or you could try to knife the wolf in the throat as it leaps at you. Never-ending story, Atreyu style. Gamor catching a shard of a piece of glass right to the belly. What you get. That's what you get for selling out Fantasia there.
Exactly.
If you run for the cave, turn to page 49. If you prepare to fight, by the way, on page 49, look at that wolf. You're going to fight that thing. If you prepare to fight, turn to page 50.
I mean, look at the spittle coming out of that wolf.
He's had it. Like, look at his eyes. He's like, I can't even think straight.
Come on.
That's Todd in a former life.
Or run. Jimmy says, fight the wolf.
Yep. Scott says, be right back. Let's give Scott a little grace here. Do you have the Jeopardy music?
Yes. For Jimmy, here's the Jimmy. Oh, Mr. BRS. He's back.
Mr. BRS, welcome.
Yes. I like how confident we are. We're like, I could probably outrun this wolf.
I mean, again, this is meeting all of our choose your own adventure criteria, Lee. We have a kid who's cocky.
Yes.
Right? He's got a knife. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. Someone's getting stabbed with this knife. Like, I'm going to name this wolf Todd. I'm going to fight it. Is that a chimp? No, it's a wolf. All right, whatever.
That's okay. It's okay. It's Todd. Todd the chimp.
If you go up to the top, back to page 47 real quick. If you look, our fur tunic, it's tucked into a belt because we're still
Oh,
a
it is.
1980s kid.
It is tucked in.
It might be
See?
a piece of rope, which, by the way, I don't think they had rope back in the caveman days.
That might be
Anyway,
a vine or something.
either
All
way,
right.
we're like, I'm putting a belt on. I can't do this.
Mom
Scott
would
says
not
age 50.
this. Oh, we're
My
split.
mom would not approve.
So we got one for 49 and one for 50.
So
So
one says run and one says fight.
okay,
Let's see if
we're
Mr.
gonna,
BRS is going to weigh in, and maybe we can.
otherwise we will have to do
Let's give Mr. BRS another like
more seconds.
20
here.
seconds.
Vote or break the tie here, Mr. BRS. Do we run for the cave or do we prepare to fight?
With the tooth knife we made, or a tusk knife.
Mammoth bone, I think it was. Yeah, a knife carved from a tusk of a wolf.
Oh God! I cue the fight music, Lee.
All right, here we go. All right, page 50.
All right.
So, is that you?
Is
or
that
me?
you or
I think
me?
It's me.
Yeah, I think it's you.
I think it's me. Holding your knife with its long ivory blade pointing upward, you advance very slowly, step by step toward the wolf, which stands growling softly, apparently confused by your boldness. Then it springs. You lunge with your knife, twisting your body to avoid its awesome fangs. Your knife cuts through nothing but air, but the wolf succeeds only in tearing off your bearskin coat. It stops for an instant to sniff at the coat, and you turn and plunge your knife into its neck.
Yeah!
The wolf twists, looks at you with hate in its eyes, and falls limp as its spinal cord is severed.
That's what you get. You get a severed spinal cord. See, this is where chimp fighting origins. We're like, you think I can't fight this chimp with a knife? I killed a dire wolf.
Yeah,
with a piece of bone, bro. 10,000. Yeah, this is easy. Anyway,
yeah. You think you're tough? I killed a wolf.
I'll break this knife off in you. Where's Todd? Are you a wolf, Todd? Get out.
Now you are a true Stone Age hunter. You skin the wolf and walk.
There we go. There's the cockiness.
Yeah, here we go.
I guess I'm the best now, right?
Yeah. You follow the right-hand tunnel, thinking you might find your way back to your own time. But suddenly you feel yourself falling faster and faster into what seems to be a bottomless pit.
Ooh.
Page 81. Killed a wolf, fell into a pit. You feel yourself slowly regaining consciousness. Oh, concussed. We're concussed.
Yeah! Checklist. Bingo, baby!
Bingo. Concussion. We need to make up a Uchoose bingo card, don't we? Yeah, we need
concussion, knife. Someone got stabbed in the back.
Yes.
You know,
cockiness. Yeah, arrogant comment.
Yeah, and
judgmental. Shirt tucked in, judgmental. You know, we're always saying that was a fat man, skinny man, tall man, fat woman, something like that. You know, some sort of shaming, body shaming.
Lee, quick question, quick trivia. What's the name of the terrible search engine that Microsoft came out with back in the day to rival Google?
Let's see. Was it Bing?
Yes. And then what does the green light tell you to do?
Go.
Bingo, baby.
Bingo. There we go. Oh, and Scott's predicting what's happening here. Okay. Let's see. You feel yourself gaining. Okay. You are in your bed at Red Creek Ranch, looking up at Uncle Howard. Standing nearby is a friend of who is his friend is a friend who is a doctor. Wait, does that standing nearby is a friend of who is a doctor? There we go. I can talk.
There it is. Grammar.
You took quite a bad fall climbing on those rocks up in the canyon, Uncle Howard says. Doc Parsons tells me he doesn't know why you didn't break any bones. We were real worried about you, though you got lost in one of those caves up there. You feel a bit dizzy and weak, so you just smile and say nothing. Probably no one would believe you anyway. Years later, though, you write a book about your adventures in the Cave of Time. Another title drop, the end.
There it is. There it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's not a bad ending. I mean,
No.
I mean, we killed a wolf and got concussed in 2 pages.
Hey, we had 2 endings today so far. 2 endings.
Yeah, yeah.
So not so bad. Now we had 6 total.
Yes, we're at 6. Yeah, these are pretty fast, Jimmy. These aren't like, like you said earlier, these aren't like Fighting Fantasy where you go 20, 30 pages.
And they learn. We did live. Mr. BRS is right. It's like, hey guys, we didn't die, right? Like
that's all that counts.
We lived to fight another day. We lived to write a book. If we go back to our original choice here, what was the another path here where things diverged?
Let's see. There's a couple of them with some illustrations I kind of want to get to. Let's see. Okay, there was the wolf.
And just in case you guys are wondering, if you ever want to look at our logo, our image done by the wonderful and incomparable Jeff Munn, look him up. GEOFF space MUNN. But this page was inspiration for our logo.
Yep. Riding a mammoth.
Off a cliff.
Jimmy wants us to do Fighting Fantasy, book 32, Slaves of the Abyss. Huh. Okay.
Fighting Fan. I'm writing this down.
Yeah, Fighting Fantasy. I've gone through a few of them. They're pretty good. They're
all right.
More RPG style. You have body points and stuff like that.
So, oh wow. Okay. Might be a Uchoose special there.
Yes. It'd be like Endless Quest, except with more stats. All right. Let's see. So we went with the cave people, and then we went back to the Cave of Time. That was page 27. So let's go back maybe even further.
Yep.
Where was the other? Okay.
We went to page 4.
So page 17 is where we make friends or we run for it.
And what did we do last time?
We made friends, so we need to run for it. So page 28.
I will go and run for it.
Okay.
28. You can see no future for yourself with these primitive people. Wow.
See? Harsh judging. Yep, there it is. Ding.
I liked the other version of us. So you run back toward the Cave of Time. Cave of Time.
There it is again.
Fortunately, they do not follow you, and you are able to find your way. You missed out on cutting the spine out of a dire wolf. Just saying.
I know.
By the time you re-enter the cave, you are hungry and exhausted. The light is dimmer than before, and you grope your way along, looking for a passageway. You stumble and fall headfirst down an embankment, bumping your head disagreeably, as opposed to bumping your head agreeably. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that bump. Thank you. Disagreeably. You look up and see daylight ahead. You would after bonking your head disagreeably.
Yeah. No
a minute later, you walk out of the cave into the warm, moist air near a forest of leafy trees. A bird flies by. You don't know when it is, but it looks pleasant enough. Turning to page 51.
Okay.
Okay. Suddenly you hear voices. This is weird. Suddenly you hear voices shouting. You hide in a thicket. An animal crashes through the brush. In a moment, some men rush by in pursuit, carrying spears and slings. You imagine that you must be in an era long before the advent of civilization. You follow an animal trail. It soon leads to a clearing, and you lie down in the grass to rest. Looking up at the sky, you see a long, thin, white streak. You rub your eyes and look again. It appears to be the vapor trail from a jet plane. You may be living in the present time after all. After several days of wandering through the jungle, you reach a settlement on the banks of a large river. There is an airfield nearby, and within a few weeks, you are able to obtain a ride back to civilization and return to your family, just a month after you first entered the Cave of Time. You are happy to be back home, but shocked at how much older everyone looks. And they express the greatest surprise that after 11 years, you haven't changed a bit. The end.
Oh, that's a good one. I
That's
remember
a good
that
one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
I
You know,
remember
I
reading
mean, it's
that.
a little bit of a sneaky ending, but still fun.
Still, 11 years later. That's like was it the Flight of the Navigator? What was
Flight of the
11 years?
Navigator. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
a good one,
strange ending.
everybody. If y'all, our listeners tonight have to have seen Flight of the Navigator.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you.
Okay, so back to page, I think, what did you say? It was 17.
Okay. I think it was 17. Yeah. But I like
So we've
that one where
exhausted those choices.
I think so. So we go back even further, right? Because we were at okay, here we go. We enter the cave or continue on. See, I'm pretty sure we can, page 9, right? See, we continued on, if I remember correctly, right?
Well, because Enter the Cave takes it to page 17. So 17 is where things pop off for us. Yeah.
So page 18. Here we go. All right. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. You continue on following a trail leading up a steep incline. You hear loud trumpeting sounds from a nearby ravine. Here we go. Ravine, crevice, gully, valley.
You need those. All those topographic features.
Exactly. Oh, see you, Jimmy. Jimmy's got to go.
See you, Jimmy. Thanks for joining us tonight. And
thank you.
If you're so inclined, follow us on your old podcast stuff machine, whatever you listen to.
Yes. Tell your friends. All right. You hear loud trumpeting sounds from a nearby ravine, the sounds of a large animal. You climb over some rocks and find yourself looking down on one of the largest land mammals that ever lived, the woolly mammoth. Huge as this creature is, its size is exaggerated even more by its thick coat of wool. You are cold and desperate and tired. From your rock ledge, only a few feet over the mammoth, you could drop down on its back, burrow into its warm wool, and ride it where it takes you. All right, here we go. If you jump down on the woolly mammoth, turn to page 29. If you continue on foot, turn to page 30. So let us know in the chat. Do we hop on that mammoth or do we continue on foot? Let us know in the chat. Here we go. This is our inspiration for our logo.
This is literally our logo's origin story right here. And hey, by the way, if you would like, and this is where we need your participation, if you would like, and I know Mr. BRS wants some. Mr. BRS is joining us nearly every time. Give us your address. You can PM us or DM us. I guess that's what the kids on our Instagram channel, and I can give us your address. We'll send you some stickers. Gosh dang it!
Yeah,
some Uchoose stickers. I have some somewhere. They're in here.
From us to you during this bountiful Thanksgiving season, right?
This is just yes, exactly. We're going to give thanks for your listening to our show. Go to our Instagram. By the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us.
Just
and send us a message. Mr. BRS talking to you. Send us a message with your address. I will send you a sticker package of Uchoose podcast. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So let us know in the chat and we'll go wherever you want us to go. Do we jump on that mammoth and ride, or do we continue on foot? I wonder how Edward Packard came up with this idea. Let's hop on a mammoth just to keep warm. It's like, did he watch Empire Strikes Back and say, well, I can't cut him open and go inside. So, but
we'll hop on the it's not like you're going to get mad at somebody shoving you inside of a tauntaun or a mammoth if it kept you from dying, but also like if it didn't have to happen, you're like, dude, look at the weather. There's grass out here. There's a flower. You didn't have to shove me inside that thing. The weather, it's 80 degrees out here.
Yeah, why do I need to
get warm? I wanted to keep you safe in the night.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to do this. I don't understand.
That'd be awesome.
Let's see here. Scott is saying page 29.
Okay.
Jump down, reenact.
We're
The
gonna
You
do
Choose
it.
logo. I'll take us, guys.
Okay, that's you.
29. Feeling fine. There it is. There's me and Lee. As you
Yep, right
land,
there.
the mammoth shudders like a horse shaking off flies. It begins lumbering along. Now, what's it feel like now? Try to stab him in the back. See what happens.
Yeah.
It begins lumbering along up the valley, apparently unaware you are still clinging to its woolly back, keeping warm and enjoying the ride. The mammoth reaches high ground, nibbles at some bark, and then walks on. Perhaps it will carry you near some cavemen who will give you food and shelter, or they might kill you.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the mammoth stops and turns its head, listening for something. You look up and see human figures approaching from two sides. They are carrying spears and clubs. There's my people.
Yeah.
The mammoths begin to like, unga munga, munga munga,
Unga
munga. You're like, oh,
Unga
I know those
munga.
people. They're really dumb, but they're really cool. You look up and see two human figures approaching from two. Oh, sorry, there it is. The mammoth begins to run. You hold on tight. The hunters follow, screaming and yelling, unga, unga this and munga that. You can't see where the mammoth is heading, but you're afraid the hunters might drive it off a cliff. Yet, if you jump off while it's running, you could be badly hurt. And we know that medicine in the Ice Age sucks.
Not very good.
If you don't, well, if you break your leg, they kill you. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
If you jump to the ground, turn to page 52. If you hang on, Wilson Phillips style, turn to page 53.
That's awesome. You see the caveman, you're like, hey, that's Henry over there. He makes a great mammoth pudding.
He makes a great exactly. Oh, look at Og over there. Og, you crazy Og, you're making them poop statues. And he's like, you got me.
Og. Og, you stay out of don't hang out with Og too much. He gets into a lot of trouble.
Don't hang out with Og too much. He's a bad influence.
Yeah. Stay
Mr.
away from
BRS, I love this. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Exactly.
So it is written, so shall it be done.
Yeah, I love the artwork in this where our legs are almost flailed clear up because we're going so fast.
We're having a good time.
Our shirt is probably still tucked in though, I bet you.
Yeah, I feel like I know where this is going. I feel like this doesn't end well. Let's see here. Scott says page 53. Mr. BRS, is that what you would like to see happen as well? Hang on. Wilson Phillips style.
Oh. So I feel
Mike Puncher.
Yeah. We do. We kind of know where this is probably going to go. There's 49 different endings, you know.
Well, we're what now? We're 7 down that we've.
Yeah, I think maybe even 8.
Oh yeah, it's 8 now.
So
we had that short
probably going to hang on unless we get a vote.
We'll go to page. We'll go to page 53. I feel like we've had some.
Oh, that's
time
true.
here.
They're right next to each other anyway.
True, we could all do it.
Here we go. You hold tightly to the tufts of wool, hoping the mammoth will slow down enough so you can slide to safety. But suddenly it pitches forward, making a terrible bellowing. In an instant, you realize you're falling through space. You cry out helplessly as you lose your grip, falling faster and faster. Thousands of years later, when Dr. Carlton Frisbee, the famous paleontologist, finds your bones next to those of a woolly mammoth in at the Red Creek excavation, he's amazed at how closely you resemble a 20th century human being. The end. Oh man, yeah, I remember this ending.
I do too. Yeah. He's like, odds bodkins, look at this skull. Look at the high C container in his pocket.
Blimey, he's got a flashlight.
He's got a pocket knife and a belt.
Look at this shirt. I guarantee it was tucked in. Look how tightly it is.
We're like, put our skull down, man. That's where our thoughts live.
Yes. Oh man.
We died.
52. Oh yeah, 52 was an ending as well. As okay, I'm gonna read that one real quick since it's right next.
So this one we just chose to slide off the mammoth and not ride it off the rocks. Yeah.
You work your way back to the mammoth's rump and slide down, landing hard on the icy ground where you lie aching and bruised. While the mammoth lumbers on, suddenly it disappears, driven off the cliff. The hunters are shouting and cheering. Some of them come up to you, and they are short and muscular. Their jaws jut out and have bright, squinty eyes. Their black hair hangs down to their shoulders. They're dressed in animal skins. You look up helplessly, wondering what they will do to you. But an instant you can see they will not hurt you. They help you up, carry you back to their cave, and feed you steaming broth. It tastes awful, but makes you feel much better. You soon learn that the cave people will accept you as one of them because you have, without realizing it, performed the sacred rite of their culture by riding bravely on the back of a mammoth. Life is harsh and simple with the cave people, and sometimes you long for your family, your friends, and your own time again. Yet your new life is as exciting and happy as you could wish for. The end. Oh man, that's great.
We
Both
end up
endings.
in caveman times a lot.
We do. We do.
Yeah.
We don't want to go back.
No, we're like, man, something called, man, that ice age is calling, bro.
Well, yeah. And I think it just he's tapping into that childhood adventure. What would it be like to live in caveman times? You know, chasing a mammoth, hunting saber-toothed tigers, all sorts of things.
This is why, and hear me out, this is the controversial take. This is why of the Back to the Future movies, 1, 2, and 3, my favorite by far is Back to the Future 3. And I go, I stir up a lot I get a lot of smoke, as the kids say, about this one, because it's like you can't go against the first one. I'm not going against it. For me, it's very much 3, 1, 2. And
3, 1,
I'm
2.
like, if you're gonna tell me a traveling in time story, I get it. Like, what was my dad like when he was 17? He was a dork, like he is now.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you're gonna do a time travel movie, like a kid from the 80s stuck in cowboy days, that is a choose your own adventure laugh. That is fun times. And then you know, from the 80s to the 50s, you're like, I could fake it and get away. But by the way, in the 80s, there was this love affair. I don't know what happened with the 50s. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna do a party at school. It's gonna be 50s themed. You're like, what?
Yes. Sock hop or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like we could have faked it. We could have shown up in the 50s and been like, I've seen enough. I know how to get by. Anyway, I digress. My point is, yeah. Let's go back to some back in time. I paged us back to page 19. We have time for one more ending. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, let's do one more quick one. All right.
Page 19. If you recall, we chose to jump down on top of the woolly mammoth. This time, we're going to continue on foot.
All right.
Like, no, look at this thing. It's the size of a tank. Why would I jump on this? I saw Star Wars. I know what happens when you jump on top of tauntauns and what's the other one? The one inside Jabba's pit. What was that one called again?
Oh yeah, the Rancor. The Rancor. Yeah.
I see what happens when you jump on top of a Rancor. I'm not doing this.
No way.
So continue on foot. Page 30. There. Boop, boop, boop. Riding on a mammoth might be fun if you were not cold and hungry and lost, but where would it take you? You continue. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
You continue walking. One of the places it'll take you to your death. That's what we find out. You continue walking, your spirit sinking. Just as you feel ready to sit down and cry, I'm with you there. Hashtag sit down and cry.
Yes.
You see an opening in the ground. You crawl in on your hands and knees. It might provide some warmth, and it might lead to the cave of time. We should have a cave of time counter for sure.
Oh, we've got to be up to at least 4 minimum.
For sure, 4 or 5.
Yeah, let's find it here.
You see an opening down. You crawl. It might provide. You find yourself in a tunnel. There are other tunnels branching off. You feel sure now you are in the cave of time.
Oh
my God!
Yeah. Wow, on one page.
You can't do that. That's like grammatically bad.
Yeah.
Like to the fabled cave, the cave of wonder, the cave. I don't know.
Cave of time.
You are eager to take the next tunnel to the surface, but you want to travel a long way forward in time. Maybe you should take a tunnel further on. Now this is where we get another branch here. If you take the first tunnel you can, turn to page 54. If you take a tunnel further on, turn to page 92. Page 30 is definitely a nexus. I'm writing this down.
Oh, because it's got so many cave of times.
Yeah. Well, that and I can tell just by that, like this is a setup. This is a setup page for 2 branches that will probably branch again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
I see what you're saying.
boom,
Yeah.
boom, and then boom. So we'll have to like get back to 30 at some point
30. Yes. Well,
to
and
origin ourselves.
Scott really wants us to get a cave bear.
He is like, we have seen 0 cave bears. The wolf doesn't count.
No. Mr. BRS says further. So page 92. Onward and upward.
So further down. 92, Lee. 92.
Page 92. We're going to go to 92 then. All right. We get there unless Scott wants to chime in. We're going to page 92. All the way to the end here. All right. You continue a long distance until you come to the next tunnel. From there, it's only a short distance until you reach the surface. An amazing sight meets your eyes. As far as you can see, the land looks like a beautiful park with soft, feathery grass and towering trees. Here and there are clusters of multicolored dome-shaped buildings, connected by ramps, terraces, and walkways. Some people are dressed in simple khaki pants and shirts and tan sneakers walk up to you. They do not understand your language, nor are you theirs. They look much like the people of your time, except they are unusually trim, muscular, and healthy looking, and they are a good deal smaller than your own people. They take you inside the dome-shaped building and show you electronic equipment that looks like a computer. You notice a typewriter, so you sit at it and type a message. The computer prints out a reply. It apparently has access to memory banks containing your language. You soon discover you're living in the year 3742. Turn
There
to
we
page
go.
56. And they're still wearing khaki pants, Eddie.
Khakis are still in, baby. Woo! Although khaki sneakers, though, by the way, you got to get some of
khaki
those.
sneakers. Yeah. Though computer instructions, you are able to learn the language. Through computer instructions, you're able to learn languages, which you find is similar to English. So you're soon able to communicate with your hosts. They are not at all surprised to hear that you arrived through the cave of time.
There it is
again.
I'll do it.
You are not the first, the head of the household tells you, but we have visitors from other times only once in a great while. When someone comes, we are always glad to learn about life in another era, because here we have achieved a sort of paradise. We do not work, and the world is at peace. It's a perfect society. That is why primitive epochs such as yours interest us so much. All right, here we go. If you stay in the perfect society, in quotes there, turn to page 57. If you try to return to the cave of time,
I'm counting it.
Page 60. Yes.
It counts.
So do we stay or do we go back to the cave of time?
Page 60. The classic dilemma of the 80s. Should I stay or should I go?
Should I go now? Yes. Should I stay or should I go now? Well, I like how idyllic that the 80s thought the future was going to be, just like Gene Roddenberry.
Oh yeah. Future. What I love, I pictured this being like he goes in the future and somehow the language like re-simplifies again and they're all like unga munga. Unga munga.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I know these guys.
15,000 years later, we're right back at Unga Bunga.
There's that weird guy made me poop sculptures in the corner. Me.
He's got a club.
Like, time really is circular. Look at that. That's crazy. Who knew? They're eating half-cooked meat again.
Yeah. Broth. Og's here. He's making his broth.
Broth. That tastes like gasoline. Broth.
I like how Scott, it's in quotation marks. I love how that innuendo there. So
we all cut to like Professor Frisbee with his weird like mustache and rat teeth. He's like, we know the perfect society has khaki colored everything.
Yes, pants,
even khaki colored food.
Khaki colored food.
khaki gardens, khaki butterflies, khaki churches. Everywhere you go, khaki.
Khaki cars.
Like, get this guy out
My
of
skin is khaki.
here. Lord.
Oh man. Okay,
Page
so
57, here we go. That's
page
me,
57.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Your hosts give you a fine bedroom with large windows overlooking the park on one side. On another wall is a beautiful painting of the California seacoast. When you push a button, the painting folds up to the ceiling, revealing a large screen. Already in 1982, predicting like huge TV screens on the wall.
Exactly.
Your room contains a computer terminal that enables you to select any movie or other program you desire from over 10,000 possibilities, which is actually, again, something we have now.
The internet.
Which is 10,000 is like, get out of here, dude. That's 10,000 possibilities. That's one of my playlists, dude. Get out of here.
Get out of here with that.
There are even films where you are the main character and you can make choices as to what will happen next in the story. If only. Then, if you don't like the way the plot is working out, you can go back to an earlier point and make different choices from then on. Wow, look at them go. This is a serpent eating its own tail. On your terminal, you can also play games and flash pages of books or magazines on the screen. This is crazy. It's funny. Good job, Packard. Yay.
Yay. You predicted it.
Hold up here. You can live quite well without even getting out of bed. Eventually, you go exploring. You meet other people, but you find none of them very interesting. You spend most of your time watching the greatest movies of all time. Gradually, you settle into your new life. One thing disturbs you. No one has made any new movies in the last 300 years. The end.
Man, he nailed it, didn't he?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
This page itself. We should do a screenshot of this page and put it up and be like, "Hey, look at old Mr. Packard predicting the future."
He predicted 2024 right here.
He predicted 2024. I'm screenshotting it right now for the fun of it. Hey, there you go. Hey, tonight we did 10 endings.
That's awesome.
Not tonight, but total 10 endings.
10 endings. Yes. Total, we did 10 endings. There we go. Hey. And we got up to 8 on the Cave of Time counter.
Right.
Let's see. Let's recap. We got concussed. We died.
We died. We died twice.
Died twice. Lived with the cave people.
Yep.
Lived in the future.
Yep.
So we killed a wolf by severing its spine, no less.
I mean, this is a lot for a Monday night. We're doing all right.
Yeah. Oh, Scott has a request. He wants to do page 60. Well, let's take a look at it real quick. No.
You want to read that one, Lee?
Yeah, I can do that one. There's something deadening about the perfect future society that makes you want to return to your own time as quickly as possible. With a brief word of farewell, you hurry back to the tunnel, climb down, and find a fork to the right that you hope will take you toward the right time. Soon you are climbing up toward the surface, excited about the discovery you are about to make. When you reach the surface, it's completely dark. A chill wind is blowing. You sit resolutely, waiting for dawn so that you can see what kind of world you're in. Meanwhile, there's no way of telling what time it is, either by your watch or by the stars. You hear loud clicking sounds all around you, mostly in the distance, but some quite close. As the orange-pink glow of oncoming dawn lightens the eastern sky, you see a nearby shape of a creature that is the size of a sheep, but has a very different appearance. The end. Eaten by a bug.
I mean, we can assume by the look of it that it's probably friendly. You know, like, it's
probably
okay.
friendly. Yeah, it's
like
fine.
This is going to work out just fine. That row of razor blades you have as teeth. Yeah, I'm safe in this time period.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, good going, Scott. He recommended one more, and now we died again. Yay!
Yay! Yeah, that one is
it
Nightmare
doesn't say
Fuel.
we died. It doesn't say it. It's implied.
That's true. That's true. It didn't say we died, but yeah, you can pretty much assume by that, by the look of that insect thing or whatever it is.
So now,
Yeah,
how many endings did this book have?
11.
40 endings.
Yes, 39 endings. So
We've
we
shaved
barely
off 11.
of it. You only shaved off. That's why I said this one you can keep going, and you're never, well, not never, highly unlikely you're going to run into the same ending twice. That's the thing.
Well,
with
we
this
kind
one.
of we kind of did that future one because that was really all the choices that we had from that point on.
Yeah, we'd have to
So
diverge.
we go back to page 30 again, essentially.
Yeah, we would. But we're kind of getting low on time, so we'll have to maybe revisit this one.
Oh
again
yeah, no, we're going to turn into a pumpkin at this point.
Yeah. But yeah,
Wanna
thank you
thank
everybody.
everyone. Yeah.
Everybody that showed up in the chat, and thank you to those listening later. Like I said, you can go to uchoospodcast.com. That's the letter U, choosepodcast.com, and find out check out the old episodes and all the social medias. And we usually try to do this every other Monday night, but sometimes life gets in the way. But
or your COVID and flu shot, and you're like, I'm gonna die. It's like I'm fighting a future bug right there, the size of a sheep.
Exactly.
You know?
But we're gonna be back in 2 weeks along with Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
And we'll do it again at 8:30. So until next time, you choose the adventure. Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.